Hi, I am Carrie Butler, the Policy Director with Action Utah. This week we want to talk a little bit about housing, and we've been really blessed to be joined today by Michelle Flynn, who is the Executive Director of the Road Home. We are really impressed with your work that you've been doing. I think that you maybe have one of the hardest jobs right now in the entire state. And I know that you have been up to your eyeballs making sure that our friends are safe and secure at the shelter.
Hi, Carrie. Thanks for having me and highlighting the work that's being done by the staff of the Road Home every day. Certainly, these last few months have been like no other time. We are really prioritize the focus on health and safety in a different way than we have had to before.
Mhm.
And we see more than ever the intersection of healthcare and housing and
Yeah,
how important it is to have both of those things in order to have stability in your life and stability in the community as a whole.
we know that like the social determinant housing impacts your overall health care. What kind of advice would you give somebody who is maybe on the precipice and is a little bit housing insecure, who's entering this now, this or whose risk is increasing due to the virus?
One of the good things now is there are resources out there for things like rental assistance and utility assistance and food assistance, support that's come from the federal government and the state government and local governments. And so staying in touch with what those resources are and how to access them. First and foremost, going through 211, which is the statewide system to connect you with those kinds of resources. So what we're seeing now in the homeless resource centers is we're seeing people staying away from coming into the resource centers, and it's because they're afraid to be in those congregate settings. We also know that what we've seen in past economic downturns is a delay in the impact on the crisis response system. People find ways to take care of their needs right away and immediately. And usually what we see as soon as the economy starts getting better in the community, we start seeing the bigger impact on these crisis fronts. And so what we expect is to see the biggest impact a few months from now. We know that we've done a lot right now, including with the governor's stay on evictions through May 15th. We feel like landlords are really trying to partner. Landlords don't want to evict people either, but they also need the income from renting. That's their business. And so if we can make those connections and get that rental assistance out to avoid those evictions and keep those landlords whole in their business, that's going to be the best solution. But these are big, complicated government funding programs, and people have to be deemed eligible and work with different organizations. And so this is going to take time for everybody to get connected with the right kind of resource for them. So we expect this to continue throughout the summer and into the fall. This real focus need on keeping people in the places that they are safe.
Yeah.
And ensuring that people who are in unsafe places are the ones that end up in the homeless system, where we can help them get back into a safe location.
Now you mentioned calling 211 for resources. So that's something you call, and they will connect you with what organizations who help with rental assistance or help with food assistance. What other kinds of things can people call 211 for?
Sure. 211 is statewide, so you can call anywhere in the state and they'll connect you with resources that are closest to you. And it's really for any basic need that you might have. It could be childcare assistance or affordable childcare in your area, could be for employment assistance, as you mentioned, rental assistance or utility assistance, transportation, subsidized transportation or affordable transportation in your area. Anything that you feel like is a crisis for you that's going to impact your housing stability, you can call 211 and they will be able to connect you with somebody who will be able to take you to the next level of support.
Okay, great. That's such an incredible resource. And I don't know that a lot of people are familiar with it. We are so impressed with the letter that was sent to the governor requesting an extension of the eviction moratorium. Our organization seeks, most importantly, to help mobilize folks to get engaged on issues they care about. And we know that this is an issue that a majority of people are really concerned with in the state. What can people do who maybe don't work for a housing organization to help push this forward? Should they be contacting their legislator? Should they be contacting the governor? Who do they talk to?
All of those things. I think your city mayors, city council members, and county level commissioners as well as the state legislature. As I mentioned, we expect to see a delay really in the big impact on evictions. Right now, the data is not showing that there are a lot of evictions, but we're early on and the eviction order is in place. And so right now we're working to get those resources out and people connected with the funding that they need. So that's why we are looking for that extension to go beyond May 15th. I know we want to be, and we are data driven as a state. The
Yeah.
data today doesn't show that there are a lot of evictions that have happened yet, but we expect that, again, that will happen in the next couple of months, and we need to be prepared. Give time for those dollars to get out into the landlord's hands for June 1st and July 1st, and for people to get that support that they need while they're looking to get back into the workplace after they've spent their stimulus money, and it might take a little bit longer for them to get enough income to pay for their rent. That we make sure that that happens before the evictions start, because we're just not set up to handle a big increase in evictions and a big increase in homelessness. No community is, and
Right.
that's not where we want people to be.
Okay, great. Well, you guys heard it here first. Call your governor, call your mayors, contact your legislators, ask them to extend this moratorium on evictions so that Michelle and her team can continue doing this amazing work.
Thanks,
Michelle,
Carrie.
thank you so much. We appreciate all your time.
Sure, of course.